Alright, today we'll be taking at the three main builds that you can build from the Vanguard V eb10, right, featuring Gold Paladin, Great Nature, and Neo Nectar. Alright, first we will take a look at the new Gold Paladin deck featuring Agravane. So for the first Vanguard, Sentinel draw. And as for the trigger, we are actually playing 4 of each, right? It's because this is for testing, right? We will do it according to our playstyle in the later when we are more get used to it. And right, so for grade 1 we have Hoel, which increases the power of unit in the same column during this turn. Next we have Tron. So when enter the field, you can actually counterblast 1, and this unit get power plus 5000. And if the attack hits a Vanguard and your Vanguard have same or lower grade than your opponent, you can look at the top of the deck and call it out. Right, so it's very useful, and it's a V-R effect. So you can actually do it from the very start of the game. Right, next we have the Drain for the counter charging and draw, which is very important. And this is the MVP we have here, Escrat. So when called onto the field, if your Vanguard is Escrat or Agravane, you can look at the top of the deck, call it onto the rearguard circle, and when this card enters the field, you can actually choose to counterblast 1 and you get additional plus 5000, which is very useful. Next we have Kaidan, sorry. So just like the Escrat when called on the field, but you need to counterblast 1, discard 1 card from hand, look at top 3, call 1 out. If you have Hoel on the field, you can get to draw 1. Right, so as you can see, there's a lot of calling when enter the field because of Agravane. Next we have our main attackers. So we have Arenor. So when attacking, it will gain the ability according to the amount of unit that you caught this turn. 2 or more, you get power plus 5000. 4 or more, you get additional power plus 10,000. So after Agravane attack, everything going to soul, you call out the unit. So most probably you get the plus 5 and plus 10, so plus 15,000, which is very useful. If your opponent were to open a defensive trigger, you can still go in. Alright, next we have the Angel. It's a grade 2 rare. So if you have 1 or less card in hand, you can counterblast 1. During this turn, your opponent can only call a total of 1 Sentinel. Right, so this is our in-game card, which you kept at 2. Next, our main character, Agravane. So ignoring the second effect, let's take a look first effect first. So when attacking, counterblast 1, send all rearguard into soul. After look at the top of your deck according to the amount of unit you caught during this turn, and you can call any amount of them, then the rest go back to deck shuffle. Alright, so multi-attacker deck, which is very good with XL1. And activate Soul Blast 12. During this turn, your opponent can only call normal units, so they can't even superior call triggers. They can't even use call triggers onto the Guardian Circle. Alright, so these are endgame mechanic. 12 Soul will take around 2 to 3 turns when they are in grade 3, so do take note. Full cavalry, so Soul Blast 1, look at top of your deck, call it onto a rearguard circle, and your Vanguard get power plus 5000. Right, very useful. And next we have this very interesting unit, grade 3, 24,000, and you cannot write this card. Right, so when Agravane look at top 3, look at top whatever amount, and you manage to call this, it can actually help you to win the game. Very useful. I'll play around 1 to 2 of them. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the units that we took out. Right, previously we were thinking of playing Vivian. Right, so when enter the field from hand, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, look at top 3, call 1 unit out, the rest back to bottom deck, and plus 3000. The issue is most of our unit get called from deck. Right, so this is actually pretty useless, and most of the time it got stuck. Right, even if I call using Agravane's effect, or it doesn't trigger, so it's just a 9000. Same goes for Sagra Mall, so we took them out. Next, we have this unit where when a Vanguard, a grade 3 and above Vanguard enters the Vanguard circle, send to soul, draw one and call one out. It increases the soul, but we have better choice, and it doesn't really help when you call it out as attacker. Right, so this is the new Gold Paladin. Alright, next let's take a look at the new Great Nature. Right, so this is the new first Vanguard. Doesn't really affect the game. Right, so as usual we have 4 of the Sentinel draw. And we are playing 4 of each to test out the deck. Next we have 4 of this new unit, Seshu. So when enter the field, you can Soul Blast 1, put the top of your deck into drop, and according to the type, it gains the following effect. Normal unit, Soul Charge 1, and you get power plus 5000. Trigger unit, you get to draw 2 and discard 2 cards from your hand. So it's very useful in the early game, and it's a V-R. Right. Next we have the Monoclus Tiger to activate the skill of top deck into drop, which is very useful in this deck. And this interesting is the unit is the token. So enter the field, Soul Blast 1, return one of your other rear guard back to hand. So as you can see, some of our new units actually is come into play effect, so you can actually reuse them. And when the cards get sent from your deck into drop, it gets power plus 5000. And right now we have the Tank Mouse. So when a unit gets sent from deck to drop, you can actually counter blast 1, return it back to hand. So it's very useful if I manage to, let's say, throw away the units that I need, you can actually pull it back to hand. For grade 2, we have the Matilda. So enter the field, counter blast 1, and if it's a normal unit, when you mill it, during this attack, your opponent must call 2 or more to guard, and if it's trigger unit, you get critical plus 1. Right, same goes for the binoculars, and since we have more units that actually mill the deck now, so I decided to go for the barcode Zebra instead of Panda. Next, our Ace Monster, Isabel. So when it's on the Vanguard circle, you get to choose both. So no matter it's a normal unit or trigger unit, you get to activate both of them. And yeah, and the next one is Leopard, and it's either or, right? No matter which one you write first, you still have the advantage. So this is a very interesting deck that cut down on the amount of randomness compared to the previous build, right? So this is the new Great Nature. Alright, last but not least, let's take a look at Ouroboros, the new Neo Nectar deck. So, the first Vanguard. Alright, so as this is a very fast-paced deck, we decide to go for just 2 of the Draw Sentinel and 10 critical triggers. Right, because this is a pretty rush deck that goes well with Force 2. Right, so for the grade 1, we have 4 copies of Ouroboros to help you search for cards with Ouroboros in name. 3 of the Food Basket Elf to help you increase the amount of plant token on the field. And we also have the Anifa, a new Neo Nectar unit, grade 1. Your plant token in the same column or in the Guardian Circle get power plus 5000 and defense plus 5000. So you actually get 15,000 base plant tokens with this. Right, next we have the grade 2, the grade 2 version. So when enter the field, you can call a plant token, and when you enter the field during this turn, the next plant token gets called out, becomes the 10,000 version. Next we have the grade 2, and just to take note, this thing has Ouroboros in name. Right, so if you have 2 or more cards with Ouroboros in name in the soul, you can counter +1, choose one of the following 2. You either call 2 plant token, or you get to retire 2 of your rear guard, and during this turn, this unit get power plus 20k and 1 critical. Alright, next we have other interesting units such as Miria. So activate once per turn, soul plus 1. Retire any amount of plant token. During this turn, it gets the total power of the units retired. Right, so it's a high attack. It's a high power attacker. Next, we have another dragon. So when boosted by grade 0, your opponent must call 2 or more when guarding this unit. So with the 10k, you get actually a 19k attacker that you're opening to throw 2 or more cards to guard. With force 2, this is actually very painful. Next, we have our Ouroboros that makes all our grade 0 token caught after this to be the 10,000 version. And you get to retire one of your rear guard, call up to 2 plant token, and if you have 5 or more rear guard, this unit get power plus 10,000. So 23,000 base. Next, this is the reason why we decide to play 10 critical triggers. So this is the Fruits Assault Dragon. So during your turn, this unit increase the power by the total power of the original plant token. So if you have 3 of the 10k plant token, this power plus 30k, 43k base. With force 2, this is very painful. And we have the Maiden of Protea. So her only purpose is to be retired to create 3 different tokens. Alright. So this is our new Neon Nectar.